Good morning, viewers at home. Welcome to the program Super Dawn. I am Vera Osopo with you today, Monday morning, a business day. Yes.
It's a wonderful Monday morning and the beginning of another week. Good morning wherever you're listening to us, watching rather Lagos, Nigeria, or any other part of the world. I am Blessed Omonose signing in for duty this morning.
And I am Anthony Osai-Bofo. Good morning to the world. Definitely we were talking about some very good and youthful topic, and of course I hope that our youth are definitely going to partake in this morning's edition of Super Dawn.
Well, this morning of Super Dawn, we want to look at the Commonwealth Summit, where our president was part of. He went there. Well, we're going to look at it from different angles. We want to look at when he talked about the business made easy in Nigeria, and we're going to look at a particular one he talked about when Nigerians thought he was degrading the youth of this country. But before you call in today's edition of the program, I want you to actually go Google, search what he actually said before you call in. And I don't want any wrong choice of words this morning. I know over the weekend was something else on the social media. Loads of people lambasted Mr. President. But before you call into this program this morning, take a look at what he said, the speech, and let's look at it. Is it that we're not getting it right? Could it be that that was not what he meant? Maybe Nigerian youth are not taking it the way he said it. We'll look at it, and we have a guest. We're going to be having a guest today during the program, so we can look at it together. But I want us to be objective. I want us to be sincere when we're talking. Do not use the wrong choice of words. But I want to see the emotions without you using the wrong choice of words this morning. Hello, it's going to be a good day, a good programming. Super Screen is ready. And before we go on a break, when we take the review this morning, I want to ask the guys, I'm just a lady here, just the only one here right now. Okay. Got two guys ready. How was your weekend?
The weekend was splendid for me, though.
If you ask me, it was really restful. At least I had Sundays to myself, the whole of Sunday to myself. I actually slept. No parties, no engagement. It was awesome, if you ask me. And I'm so excited. It's my birthday this week. Tomorrow, to be precise. So
what do you have in store for us? What do you have in store for us? What do you have?
I just love his name. Blessed. That brings to mind what you wanted, what you expected. If you name your child Blessed, that's the first time I'm hearing that name, and honestly, it's unique. So we're going to be celebrating a unique person tomorrow. Well, for me, my weekend was, hey, for the past 5 weeks, my weekend has been very busy. But one thing I decided to do, because I know work starts on Monday fully, the Saturday nights, you can't take that away from me. I just doze off until Sunday morning, head up to church. But my weekend was in Benin, Edo State, for a wedding. And wow. Don't worry, maybe one of these days I'll tell you what happened. Very beautiful place, beautiful event, and I had a nice time.
Come on, it's Edo State you're talking about here.
Yes,
it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. So yes.
It's also to our governor.
Was it the one that paid my hotel bills? Please. But I had nice time. Yeah. It was his wedding ceremony. He was a staff of this company before, and very respectful, very nice guy. I said, oh, I must honor him back. But I enjoyed it.
Wedding, sleeping, what was I doing?
I guess this guy was out. But it's going to be fun this morning. We'll go straight to the newspaper review right now. We'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in some papers and stories. Please don't use the wrong choice of word. Don't let me knock you off. Let's go on a quick break, and we'll take the papers.
Super Dawn, your daily live current affairs program, where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Super Screen Television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. It's the newspaper review segment, and the first story this morning is from the Vanguard, and it says politician behind killings in Middle Belt. This came in from the presidency, and I'll just take this. Said alleges plots to divide Nigerians using farmers and heaters crisis. In Abuja, the presidency yesterday alleged political motives in some of the killings in the Middle Belt, even as this dismissed the opposition to President Muhammadu Buhari's second term bid, saying Nigerians have enough evidence to re-elect the president. Yes, guys.
When I saw the headline this morning, the first thing that came to mind is, when are we going to stop this blame game? Since this administration came on board, it has been one blame or the other. Now they are putting the crisis going on in the Middle Belt to politicians. At least let us do something with our securities. Let's try as much as we can to ensure that security is beefed up in that area and all the necessary machineries are being placed, and not carry on with these blame games. I don't know what you think of.
Definitely, definitely. I will support you in that. I mean, all this politicking, it's all politics, but you can't just bring politics to everything. You know, I feel it's your duty, it's your administration, it's your duty to step it up. If you were given a duty, you can only bring that blame game saying it wasn't my fault, it was this, it was that, only if there are errors there, there are faults, there's a downside. Because if you actually did your work, if you actually made it work, then you wouldn't say that person made it work. You know, so I think that's what we just need to, you know, focus on right now.
Okay, we have the story. Senate presidency negotiating Magos out of EFCC. A peace plan to restore the first-state relations between Executive and National Assembly on the removal of Mr. Ibrahim Mago from Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC is imminent. The exit follows Mago's promotion to the rank of Commissioner of Police, a promotion Vanguard gathered followed back channel communication between two arms of government on how to remove lingering obstacle to crucial relationship between the two arms of government. So here, Senate presidency negotiating Magos out of EFCC.
Well, let the negotiation go in, let the negotiation go on, but I feel that this negotiation of a thing comes into place when there are skeletons in the cupboard, or there's something that needs to be found out. But if it's very clear, it's out there that this is this, that is that, I think these negotiations don't really need to be done.
My question here is, why would the Senate be negotiating Mago's house? Why? This man is performing, and we're seeing what he's doing. So
now you might say he's performing.
That's what
it might be your thoughts,
opinion anyway.
Your thoughts, but some people say he's not performing, and they don't just want him there because of some of this allegation. If you followed suit, you see that there are lots of things that came up when you mentioned Mago, and so the Senate and presidency right now, according to the Vanguard, not me, they are negotiating. Okay, we also have this: Senate reps can sit for plenary in absence of maize. Falana. Lagos, the human rights activist Mr. Femi Falana's son said yesterday it was not mandatory for either of the two chambers of the National Assembly to have a maize before sitting for plenary. But it's not a must before sitting. There's another one story.
Constitutional, I mean.
Okay, there's another story. The U.S.-Nigeria Investment Summit. Emefiele Adeosun replies Sanusi. Well, lots of stories in the papers today, but let's just take this one. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, has said that he and the Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, were absent at the Nigerian-U.S. Investment Summit in Washington last week due to clash of schedule. Emefiele was reacting to insinuation that they disregarded the invitation by Nigerian embassy in Washington to the summit, where they were expected to play a key role, thereby causing loss of potential investment opportunity, as investors in attendance expressed their disappointment with the absence of the two key government officials. Is this excusable?
It's not an excuse. I mean, I feel that if they were there, a lot of things would have happened that would have sort of benefited Nigeria. For these two key members of Nigeria not to go for the summit, it's a downside. I think we need to start being proactive, and the whole clash of schedule thing is not an excuse, because if they actually sat down, their aides, their managers or assistants thereabouts actually sat down to, you know, plan this schedule, there will not be a clash. So I don't feel that this is an excuse or it is excusable. It's not acceptable. From me, I feel it's not acceptable. They should have done more to that.
Okay, what about you?
I'll take a word from what Anthony said. Proactive. They just have to be proactive. You know, they just kind of sit down there and expect things to just happen.
Well, they said, well, it's here, that they had other schedules and they're busy, and that's why.
There should be a scale of preference. Anyway, there should be a scale of preference.
No,
and the summit to me
maybe I should read the apology.
Important.
Apologies.
US Nigerian Investment Summit.
Okay, maybe I should read the apology. Apologies to investors. I felt I should explain this. We are not irresponsible people, and please, we apologize to those investors who had gathered at the Nigerian Embassy for the summit. My apologies, but I know we also had some side meetings with some investors, and they will be also be happy for this opportunity. Well, they had meetings with some side investors also. Well, we also have this in the story. Might not read that story really, but says here, nationwide killing source of concern, go on. We also have in the papers, Nigerian bleeding, says Governor Dixon, calls for prayer. I will take this one. Labor, industrialists, others doubt ability of federal government to achieve 7% economic growth target. And the writer says, nation's economy growth still too low, Odoma.
Well, it's still too low, the economy. It's obvious, and we don't need to overemphasize on this. It's out there. It's I think the only sector right now that is booming is that is actually growing is the agricultural sector in Nigeria, though it's not booming as doing as well as the oil sector. But when you look at it, the oil sector is coming down and agriculture is going up. So the economy right now is just in a stage where we need to something needs to be done.
Okay, I think I need to take this. Is very important. It happened yesterday. The unveiling of the new Chief Gani Fayemi statue by Lagos State government was held yesterday. There's a picture story in the Vanguard for the nice one. I took there yesterday. I was around that area, and loads of people attended this event. You need to get hold of the Vanguard to get more story on that.
All right, starting off this morning is the Daily Trust, and we're starting the Daily Trust with a lot of stories on the front page this morning. Don't return Nigerian to leaders who ruined it, and that's coming from Shuika and Falana. You can get that on page 14 of the Daily Trust this morning. And also,
I think you need to take that story. Let's know who they are referring to there.
Quickly on page 14.
I think you need to take that story.
Page 14 of Daily Trust. Don't return Nigeria to leaders who ruined it. Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka has warned that even if Nigerians will not be re-electing President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019, they should be wary of past leaders who once contributed to the mess the country is battling with. Soyinka, who spoke yesterday, are the chairman and guest of honor the 80th posthumous birthday of the late Chief Gani Fayemi in Lagos, narrated how he was initially informed of a genuine interventionist movement, and he was still following up on that when some people came out. You know, so much stories on that. If you want to get that, you can get more of that, get the Daily Trust. But if we need to talk about this morning, don't return Nigerians to leaders who ruined it. Now we're looking at the credentials of those who are coming and are vying for the position of presidency in the forthcoming 2019 election. Do you think Nigeria should give those people a chance?
No, but did he like name anybody? Did he call out names when he was talking?
Yeah, he didn't mention any names here, but it's so obvious. We know those who are coming out.
No, it's obvious, but it's obvious, but we cannot know who.
Let's do a generic one. Let's just say, do not return Nigeria to where?
To those who ruined it, who wrecked the lives of Nigeria.
Country. But I know that how you can get out of a doldrum, how you can get out of a mess, is by getting your voters of PVC. How you can say, no, I want this government stay or not. Get your PVC. No, you don't need anybody to tell you any story. Get your PVC count for 2019.
Definitely,
it's going to be a very interesting year, really.
Yeah, so being a generalized thing from the heading of what Blessed just took, do not return the country to the hands of those elected. And if you feel that this person is in power, or that person, be the local government from straight up to the top, and you feel, okay, this person is actually doing bad enough for the country, get your PVCs and go out there and vote. There's this thing going on saying that youths don't actually vote. Well, I guess it's time.
I disagree with that.
No. I didn't say. I did not say youths don't vote.
Yes.
You know, but there.
You said some people.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
But I disagree with that because I know that even politicians, as a reporter, we go out and election reporter. We go out and we see elections. You know that it's youth. Lots of youth comes out to vote because they use them. But I know that 2019 will be a different ball.
Definitely.
Because
Everybody's.
We are doing here on this platform, and lots of people are doing out there. So it's going to be different. As a youth, come out, vote. Yes.
That's it.
Okay, in conclusion to that, you just go get your PVCs and let that determine who will take over the leadership of this country come 2019. And still on Daily Trust this morning, LASU VC, 63 top lawyers shortlisted for SAN rank. Get that on page 4 of Daily Trust. Our ignorance about dementia wrecks life. And on the rider, it is not just old people disease, experts say.
Oh, for real? It's not.
Let's quickly just pick that story, then we'll deliberate on that. The habit of viewing memory loss in elderly persons as part of the normal aging process, as well as ignoring forgetfulness in younger individuals, is wrecking many lives and worsening cases of dementia. Daily Trust findings have revealed dementia is a disease characterized with a progressive deterioration in the cognitive, that is the thinking, the reasoning, and the knowledge, personality, and intellectual function of an individual. Now, the Ministry of Health is coming out here, and other experts are giving their view, saying that the issue about dementia, the disease now, is wrecking a lot of life, not only to the elderly, but also to the
Okay, I know this about this disease. If you have an elderly person, you will know when it starts. When you're talking to maybe an elderly person and he tells you, you never said that. And you know you are not lying. And you know, some of them, my friend father, before he passed on, had the disease. I don't know if it's a disease, I don't know how doctor calls it, but he had this thing called dementia where he might not even recognize his own child anymore. When you're talking, he's forgotten. He might not just know his address anymore. He will just leave the home and said he's going to his house, and maybe he's just in front of his house. This forgetfulness, I think it's all about aging, they've said that. And so I think we need to know more about it. And I now know that some doctors are saying young persons has this thing.
From the report we have on the Daily Trust this morning, it says some youth are also engaging in that, as in it's affecting them.
I think maybe we need to get a doctor to treat this. Is very important, because I'll be looking for an expert that will handle this. Is very, very important, where you need to know more if you have elderly person, and even if you're young, you need to know when it's coming. But I know young people forget. I forget at times. Definitely. But you know,
it's a human thing.
You can work on your mind and say, no, I can't forget anymore. It's a thing of the mind.
Okay.
And maybe what you take, the food, maybe it can help, but we'll get a doctor to explain all of that.
All right, still on that, you just have to stay tuned to Super Scream on the particular day where we have to discuss this topic.
We might just do it soon, this week.
Yeah.
We'll get a doctor.
To wrap up the Daily Trust this morning, Adeoshu Emefiele, why we were absent from Investor Summit. You can find that on page 7 of the Daily Trust newspaper. APC inaugurates Convention Committee today. Page 15 on the Daily Trust. Nigeria, IMF differ on low-income ranking.
Okay, we'll go on a break before you, yes.
I want us to take the story. Khan urges Buhari to ignore May Council on same-sex marriage. The Christian Association of Nigeria, Khan, yesterday advised the Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government to disregard the counsel of British Prime Minister Theresa May on same-sex marriage. The advice was contained in a statement issued by Pastor Ade Bayo Oladeji, the Special Assistant on Media and Communication to the Khan President, Dr. Olasunpon Ayokunle in Abuja. Quickly, because of time, we want to go through the...
No, we can talk about it. We can really talk about this same-sex marriage. We know it's not part of our country system. And whoever is advising the president is not doing good to the country. We cannot have it here. Don't let us deceive ourselves. This is a black country. We have our culture. And so we have our culture.
Yeah.
And so if you think you want to save, I don't even understand. I don't want to think about it. It's so odd and so, to me, it's so barbaric. Disgusting. But if you think you want to, don't just try it. Don't go near there. Don't just do it. It is wrong. It is not good. It's devilish.
I think the last administration, they tried to bring it in.
But no, they didn't try to bring it in.
They
didn't bring it in.
They did not bring it in.
They didn't try to bring it in.
But it was like...
People, some set of people that are into this kind of things wanted it.
We're clamoring for it.
Yeah, they didn't bring it in. They wanted it.
They did not.
They fought against it.
I didn't say they did not bring it in, actually.
You said they tried to, your word. They didn't try.
No,
they didn't even attempt. But people, some sets of people clamoring for it, and the administration said no. And I think it's still no. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we have the punch from Anthony, and I'm also going to take some stories from the Nation newspaper this morning. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We still have the Punch newspapers this morning, and from the Punch, Anthony, we read from the Punch.
Yeah, from the Punch, first story, which is okay. This one says Buhari wants second term to consolidate gains, says aide. That's on page 7 of the Punch. This goes, the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, on Sunday said President Muhammadu Buhari was not involved in corruption and was not desperate for the office he currently occupies. He said Buhari was interested in second term because he did not want the gains made by his administration from 2015 to be frittered away. Shehu said this in an article titled Buhari's 2019 Bid and Matters Arising. The presidential aide said if a corrupt politician won the next election, the country would return to the pre-2015 era. Okay, I kind of feel that most people, youths, the masses, when we went for a report to cover something like this, we're asking people about this administration and last administration, and lots of people actually clamored for the last administration. Well, I'm not saying this, I'm not campaigning for anything. So right here, the media aide for publicity of Buhari is saying that
President Buhari, yes.
Yes, President Buhari. So it's President Buhari. Now he's saying that, okay, he's not clamoring for the seats, for the power. He's doing this because he does not want to allow some corrupt politician come into power and wreck the gains of this.
He's doing what exactly? I want to get what.
No, he is not clamoring for power.
Okay.
That he just wants to come in and run for election, run for office, because he doesn't want another politician to come and wreck the gains of this administration. That is, in simple words, he does not want someone else to come and destroy what he has built.
Okay.
What do you have to say?
Well, I don't think it is the onus of the media aides to the president to determine that. It is the onus fall on the Nigerians to really determine that. They are the one that will determine if the president has really done enough for him to come back and work on that again. That's my take on it.
Well, but when you look at things from this administration and you compare to the next administration, and would you say that Buhari has actually, President Buhari, sorry about that, has actually done enough to be scared that someone else will come and wreck whatever he has done?
If you ask me, I think it's not going to be on the side of the media aide to say he's done this or that. It's the citizenry that will say, hey, this man has done this or that. You know, if you take a clue of what is happening in Lagos, the only time I think people faulted the government of Lagos State was when he brought in charges. Other times, yes, the land use charge, and also when he increased the toll gates. Other times, you hear people saying he's done well. You hear people say, hey, the man is trying. Its inter-road network is working for Lagosians. But when it comes to the federal government, when it comes to the federal, I don't know if people will say he's done this or does that, but the poll will determine what he's done. Yes. You know, that poll come 2019 will say if he's done this or that. So we have a few stories before we wrap up this.
Okay, here we have Omar Agege, Senate panel chair, Marafa Ndume trade words. The crisis between the proscribed parliamentary support group and other senators deepened on Sunday as the senior lawmakers threatened to expose their colleagues in the PSG. Some senators who confided in the Punch said, contrary to the claims of the PSG members, that's the PSG members, were not working for President Muhammadu Buhari. Members of the PSG are against the amendments to the Electoral Act. The chairman of the Senator Committee on Petroleum, Senator Kabiru Marafa, who spoke to one of our correspondents on Sunday, stated that efforts of the pro-Buhari group had been counterproductive to the success of the president.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take this last, because of time, I'll just take this last headline that says, "Reject recycled jaded politicians in 2019, showing cartels Nigeria."
I think you need to get that again. I didn't hear it very well.
Reject recycled jaded politicians in 2019. Yes.
Okay.
In 2019.
Okay.
Showing cartels Nigeria.
Basically, that's going to be the last story. Reject any recycled. I don't know.
That's like this defies what you took.
But reject any
yes.
politician that is not good enough for us. Reject any politician that is not taking us where we ought to be. I think that should be it. I think that should be it for 2019. Well, today we're going to look at, we said earlier on, that's the end of this segment. We want to look at President Muhammadu Buhari's Commonwealth Business Summit issues surrounding it. Some people have said that he focused mainly on the youth, but we're going to take what he has said. I must let you know that I went through the speech and I looked at it and I was looking for where he said Nigerians are lazy, but I will tell you where people got that from when he said that, and we're going to talk about that. I have the speech here with me. I'm just going to leave first. First, in the UK, he talked about our economy. He said we have young population. He talked about the estimated conservatively to be 180 million. And he said this is very conservative one. He talked about more than 60% of the population is below 30. A lot of them haven't been to school, and they are claiming that Nigeria is an oil-producing economy or country. Therefore, they should sit and do nothing and get housing, health care, education free. I guess this is where loads of youth picked it up, and over the weekend, hey, the backslashing, the stabbing, all sorts came up. We're going to look at that today with our guests, but let's go on this break, and when we come back, we want to look at this statement very well and take a close look at it, and maybe we can just talk about extract together. Please don't use the wrong choice of words. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, in this topic, we want to look at the Commonwealth Summit and issues that came out from the summit. Before we went on that break, I took the story of the speech of the president during the Commonwealth Summit in the UK. And one of those things that is making the rounds in the social media, even in the newspapers, everywhere, every point is that the president, lots of people have said that the president said Nigerian youth are lazy. But I've read before we went on that break what the president said, and we have a guest in the studio. First, let's introduce the guest before we bring the video of the clips of that event. We have Comrade Joseph Eva, a public commentator, in the studios this morning. Comrade, good morning to you.
Good morning, thank you.
And I don't think we've seen this year.
No.
I must say Happy New Year.
Thank you, Happy New Year.
And congratulations, I saw the award from the Niger Delta. Yes, during the president's speech, he said that Nigerian youth, let me read that again. More than 60% of the population is below 30, and a lot of them haven't been to school, and they are claiming that Nigeria is an oil-producing country. Therefore, they should sit and do nothing and get housing, healthcare, education free. When you heard this, what was the interpretation to you?
Well, the interpretation was that the president, it is normal thing that our leaders, he is not the first person to say that Nigerians are lazy, because those who find themselves in power believe that they themselves, it was the youth that put them there, and they sometimes wonder that they are not youth and they are not giving rooms to the youth, and so they had the opportunity. It's not the only person. I remember the time that there was a bomb blast during the time of Chief Obasanjo, and he came to Ikeja barracks, and the youths were telling him, he said, people like Obasanjo will not forgive the youths for embarrassing him. The youths asked him to go inside. He stood by the side of the gate of Ikeja barrack, and he was asking where are the bombs coming from. A former military head of state and a former GOC, for that matter, was afraid of going to but the youths, the young, if you go back to that TV program, the young people were asking him, go inside and see the bombs. And people like that. There are some certain incidents that will make our leaders, to talk in a way that they were not youths, and they are the ones frustrating the youths from coming out. So when he said that, I was not surprised, because I know what Obasanjo told the youths when they were asking him to go inside. He was abusing them right here at the Ikeja airport, where the following day you saw dead bodies all over the place, from Ikeja barrack area down to Ijigbo, so many places bombs were coming up, and so I'm not surprised.
President Buhari supporters have come out to say that he did not really use the word, that phrase, Nigerian youths are lazy. He made a statement, and he was trying to push like a word of motivation to the youths, telling them that do not sit and wait around. Do not think things come for free. Work harder. Do you think that it's... What do you have to say to that?
Well, even the aides are confused, but we will forgive them, because in the first place they are saying, "No, our God did not say so." If the aides also say, "Yes, if our God talk like that, what will happen? Nothing happen." This and that, they will now say, "Okay, this will want to fight us. Let us deal with them." So now that they have shown that type of, they were even feeling sorry, and they don't know how to manage the situation. So if they are managing it, this morning, before 6 o'clock, before 7 o'clock, you find our youth selling gala. I'm coming from a very long distance to this very studio, and we see our youth sometimes carrying just pure water. You see the cold water dripping on their head. Nobody. Sure. In fact, nobody should say that Nigerian youths are lazy.
Okay, but
and it's unfortunate that this statement is coming from international forum, because you see our youth going to Libya and all these problems that we are facing. So people sympathize with us. So if such type of statements are made in an international forum, people will not sympathize with the things that are facing our problems of, youth problem in our country.
Okay, Comrade, it said a lot of them haven't been to school. I want us to take it one step.
Okay.
One step at a time. He said more than 60% of the population is below 30, and a lot of them haven't been to school. And they are claiming that Nigeria is an oil-producing country. First, a lot of them haven't been to school. Do you agree with this statement?
Why
but before
not?
you answer, let's pick this caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Beautiful. Good morning.
Yes. First of all, let me give my brother Eva.
Yeah, good morning,
Good
sir.
morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are things?
Fine, we thank God.
Yes, let me comment. You see, what the president has said against youth is very, very worrisome and embarrassing. He is not saying this in this country. He was saying that in Shogun. Was the president sent to Shogun to go and embarrass Nigerians? No. You see, what I'm saying is this. He went to Shogun not to reset himself, but to reset the country. He is saying that Nigerian youth are lazy. He said he's very lazy. Yes, the children are too are very lazy. Nigerians are very hardworking. Yes, Nigerians are very hardworking. Nigerians will wake up exactly 4 o'clock, start working.
Okay.
I think I'm lazy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Let's allow. Thank you for your contribution. Let's allow our guests continue. Not to worry, we have lots of people that will want to air their views here. This statement, yes, I asked you a question.
Yes.
The first one we took, a lot of them haven't been to school.
Why?
Is it correct?
Why? Who caused it? They are in government. They are the people. Right from after the Civil War, even before the Civil War. So you see, for example, in the Niger Delta, because he called oil. In the Niger Delta.
I'll get there.
In the Niger Delta, because he said school. We, the young people in our area, we come up with the technology of Ogogoro that people are calling snap and all this. In fact, now we have gone beyond that to be producing oil to crude, to petrol and diesel. What you hear of Molda refineries, the Niger Delta youths, technology. We are not, so if maybe because of when you move around Kano and some other areas, you see these Amorajis, people who carry plate like this and be moving in like 20, 50 in groups going around this and that. And even the former president Jonathan, when he found out this, he did not go and say that because Amorajis, this is an embarrassment to the country. He decided to find solution to it. And you have more than 500 Amaraji schools in the north. So if anybody, like I live in Maiduguri before, my parents live in Maiduguri, I was in Maiduguri before. So if you now take what is happening there, in which you now carry plates and you are moving around, and anywhere you go, you see crowd of youths with just small broken plate or whatever, or plastic plate, going around and asking. If you look at this type of crowd, you cannot use that one to generalize that Nigerian youth. There is no Nigerian youth that you will not give the opportunity or will not struggle to create the opportunity to make itself relevant.
So, but when you look at the population of Nigeria,
yes,
from what he said,
yes.
Now, is it fine? They actually, if you give Nigerian youths the opportunity to go to school, a lot of us will dive into it.
Yeah.
But when you look at the population of the youths that are not educated,
yes,
would you say it's a massive number?
Well, because of our population. And again, on that thing is that not only just opportunity. Because I remember when we were young and living around the first and word of area, I caught firewood with my mother, fish along the Mile 2 River. I have photographs in my book called Friends and Enemies of Niger Delta. Like the way I struggled with my mother along the Mile 2 River fishing in order to sell at Agboju market. There are people who know us up to today. They are old people. They know that we are selling fish from that river along Mile 2 River. So there are other youths also who struggle, even if you don't give them the opportunity. We are not giving opportunity, but we know that as fishermen from the homeland of fishing, and in Lagos there is river, we go into the river. So every Nigerian youth, if they have any way to see that they can do something meaningful to take care of themselves, no Nigerian youth will sit down idle. We are not.
Let me also read this. He said, and they are claiming that Nigeria is an oil-producing country. Therefore, they should sit and do nothing and get housing, healthcare, education free. does this mean, because he said from the beginning, a lot of them haven't been to school. That means he's not talking to all the youth. It means he's talking to some of the youth. Comrade Eva, do you think Nigerian youth, some of us, are lazy?
We should talk inside our town hall here, yes. Not the Commonwealth. If president is talking to gathering crowd of people within an organized town hall meeting going around the country and discussing, we are also talking, everybody carry microphone, address the president. There is nothing wrong in discussing that. Why some of you are lazy? We have been given opportunity, you are not working. This time, international forum, we have to talk about that, because we have to be, we're going to. Because if not, the next president, any president that come to this country anytime, even in the next 100 years, we just go to Germany, see some certain type of young people doing one thing or the other, computer and some other thing, and now insult his own children, in trust our public.
Okay, what you're saying right now is that you faulted him saying this because he was outside the country.
If it is town hall meeting, no problem.
Okay.
In town hall meeting where the president were accused some people, you are all lazy. We have given you opportunity. You are a master degree holder. Why can't you manufacture something from your school of agric? Yes, there is no problem.
He's trying to encourage those that are not working, trying to say, hey, some of the youths are not doing something.
Because of the place where this information is coming from, people don't want to even hear the bad, or the good side of his own idea. People don't. That is not the place to tell the international community.
Let's hear the video. Let's get the clips and hear what he said directly from him. No, maybe not from me, but we'll go on this break coming with the summit clips. Stay with us.
Great interest in your thoughts on many issues, on investments in the Northeast, on the Continental Free Trade Agreement. Feel free to take your pick, but would you like to take the microphone and leave us with a final thought from you? I think it's probably already turned on. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for the observations. We'll start with on the Northeast. All the questions, I think, will reflect about Nigeria's preparedness to accept investment and secure the confidence of those who are going to invest or those who are already there. I believe for those who are following us closely, they could recall on the political campaign we conducted and the success we scored was based on three things. First, securing the country, and in particular, the person who mentioned the Northeast. The so-called Boko Haram was occupying a large chunk of that part of the country, and they caused a lot of damage to the infrastructure, especially educational and health. And then the economy. We have a very young population. Our population is estimated conservatively to be 180 million. This is a conservative one. More than 60% of the population is below the age of 30. A lot of them haven't been to school, and they are claiming, that Nigeria has been an oil-producing country, therefore they should sit and do nothing and get housing, healthcare, education free. But let me tell you that recently my Minister of Education or for Information was constrained to answer a question when people accuse the administration of doing nothing. He said, let Nigerians be reminded what position we were before May 2015, what condition we are now, and what we have achieved between then and now. And I think people were impressed with the answer. The security, we have done quite well. Economy, we have done very well, especially in agriculture, by providing soft loans, and the guarantee is just you have to belong to a certain locality and you have got land. You don't have to go to the banks, you know, and bring a physical collateral. So I think a lot is being done. And on the security side, certainly, both in the northeast and in the south-south, there has been an improvement on the security of the country. And this morning, before just I came here, I saw Shell Group. They came and saw me. They are preparing to invest $15 billion, you know, in Nigeria. They came and broke the news.
Welcome back. Comrade Joseph Eva, you heard him there at the summit. He talked about the youth, and looking at what he has said, you faulted the fact that he said it there.
Yeah.
Are you saying that he would have been right if he had said it here?
Yeah, if we are in a town hall meeting, yes. Even we are town hall meeting, let us discuss. Even the Bible says, come, let us reason together. So if we are talking a town hall meeting, father and children and all that, there are some we say, yes, you made first class, you made it very good, and we are, why are you lazy? You look at your mates, you are all this age group. So we are talking, but not in areas where the people who are watching, the people on that panel within, they know very well that Nigerian leaders are the problem of their own children. They know very well.
Why did you say that Nigerian leaders are the problems? Why did you make that comment?
We are seeing it every day. Government will announce budget and 600 billion naira for education. You will not see the education. You will not see the 600 billion naira going around education. And you will tell us that University of Lagos, there is no research. Something, if you go to a lecturer office in University of Lagos, there is no light. Some of them use candle to write education. We are talking about Unilag, a city of excellence or whatever. That is what we are talking about. So if the president will read a budget, look, as we speak now, there is no budget in the country. Even that alone is a shame for the president to even sit down there. If the woman coordinated that and say, Mr. President, this is April, you have no budget in your country, will he accuse the Nigerian youth?
Okay, and speaking about what he said,
look at no budget.
He was commending himself, or rather the administration,
yes,
saying that when you look at May 15,
yes,
then 2015 till now, when you look at all he has done, he said that the security in Nigeria has been upgraded. He has done well enough. When you look at things in Nigeria as of now, would you say that the Nigerian security agencies are doing well?
No.
Okay, before you answer, let me just put it the way he said it here. He said the president said he has done well on the 3 cardinal points of his campaign, including economy and security. So you can answer that.
Look, if just we have a president sitting with us, so the coordinator, if it is straight talk, the London BBC straight talk, they will ask President Buhari, you order your IG, we are talking about security matter, you order your IG to go to Benue State, it did not go, and today your IG is still IG. Can that happen in a normal society like Ghana? Can it happen even in Togo? That will end that panel discussion.
No, but the question is,
no,
have we done well in security?
No, because the IG refused to go to Benue State. And the president is telling the whole world that, I'm surprised that my IG did not obey me. And the IG is sitting down there. Inspector General Police.
The IG is one person. When you look at everything that's happened.
No, since as you are journalists, you all know, since the coming of this government, the SSS, the DMI, the NIA, they are all fighting. They are quarreling. EFCC. We get that. Some men will go to the DIA, NIA security. We box them out of their palace. Another people will come. We have been looking dramas. It's a shame. Since this government emerged, either the DSS attempt to arrest the NIA people slap DSS officials, and DSS officials slap another official, and 2 people fighting, and photographs will be there, and newspaper will carry where the NIA and the DSS, they are quarreling. So what are we talking about? Where is even the security?
Okay, I'm going to also read. Are you saying they've not done well at all because what the president said? He said, recently my Minister for Information was constrained to answer a question on people accusing this administration of doing nothing. Do you sincerely believe they've not done anything?
Well, I did not say they did not do it. There is one significant thing that I believe they implemented. It will go down in history as one of the best things that has happened to this country. the Minister of Education brought back history subject in our schools. Oh God of Abraham. That alone, one of our problems. How can in the next 20, 30 years our children don't know who is Nnamdi Azikiwe, who was Nnamdi Azikiwe, they don't know. How can a country that wish to prosper don't know anything about their founding fathers? They don't know. So this government, for bringing back history class, that every secondary school you must write history, this and that. In fact, I give them kudos, I thank them, because without history, you cannot have anything about the present and the future.
Okay,
and our children need that.
Okay, we have this other one, economy. We're doing very well, especially with agriculture. We're providing soft loans, and guarantee is that you have to belong to a certain locality and you have to got land. And you don't have to go to the bank and need a physical collateral. I think a lot is being done in that sector. Do you think our economy is okay the way this is put?
If the president, the only lamentation as far as this government is concerned, he needs people like the Chief Obafemi Awolowo or Mobolaji Johnson, the first pioneer governor of Lagos State, men like that. Because the other day, the National Assembly met with the intervention, they have intervention agency. This government came up with this, what he is talking about. Yes, intervention fund, 600 billion naira allocated. Only 1 billion was released in 2017. I don't think the president is aware. It's just like he is not aware that the IG did not obey his order until he traveled down to Benue State. 1 billion was released. By the lady told the National Assembly that 1 billion out of the 600. That was why when sometimes some people say, but a lot of money has been released to Niger Delta. A lot of, why are you people, a lot of billions of this and that. They only put it on paper that 700 trillion release, but approve. But when it comes to the release, nothing is on ground.
So why are we not talking? Why are we not asking questions?
Nigerians are asking questions. The only thing is that some people just deliberately block their ears and say, look, anything that people ask, they might be Jonathan people, there might be opposition. So when we have that type of mentality, where people sincerely ask questions, you just feel that they are opposition. These people are just opposition. If you have that mentality, there is nothing you can learn from what people are complaining from.
And President Buhari, right there in his statement, he said that Nigerian youths claim that Nigeria is an oil-producing country and we're supposed to be doing well enough. You know, does this mean? Will you go with the thinking that Nigerian youths are actually just looking at the oil sector, trying to tap in? Because it's a fact that even in the university, you hear things, you hear people, you heard students saying, I just want to graduate and work for the oil company. Could this be true that we are actually just sitting down and hoping that, okay, we just need to tap from the national cake, the oil sector and the rest of them?
The leadership come up with this mentality. And so they decide to sit down in Abuja and share oil allocation every month end. They are doing it. So the thing grow into the citizen. Look at Libya. The citizens of Libya are not saying that. They are oil producing country. They live as if they are in paradise. They are not in Europe. They are in Africa here. If it was not because of the crisis of Libya, Gaddafi problem, you see Nigerians going to Libya. They are also oil producing country. But there is this nationalistic spirit that is in the citizens there, because the president, the government will use the oil money to develop Libya and make the people to be proud that yes, we are oil producing country and we are proud. Like what he's saying that yes, why should we not be proud that we are oil producing country? But when the citizens are not seeing infrastructures and the type of job and other things, for example, now he's proud, people are clapping, and I believe that is some of these zombie people who are clapping, and when he announced that Shell is now going to invest 160
billion. You don't have zombies here.
No, I'm talking about people who are clapping, because I'm annoyed with them. Now, okay, they are not zombies. The people who are clapping, and I want the president to sack them as he returns. He should sack them for clapping for him, because the vice president ordered Shell. Now listen, the vice president ordered Shell to go back with the headquarters of the Niger Delta. Shell disobeyed the vice president. Is it not the president that the Shell disobeyed? So why is that promotion?
I have to interrupt you. Yes, there are some words we don't use here.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm sorry for that. But I want the president to dismiss all of them. He should ask for the video coverage of those who clap and sack them. You are the people that are deceiving me. That you are. Why do you clap and? Why do you clap and? You clap and also you used to clap and sacked. Next time, zombies, I mean people, I'm sorry to use that name again. Why are they clapping and the vice president was disobeyed by Shell? Why are they clapping and when they hear Shell? Because all of them want to send their children to Shell companies to work. It is the leaders that brought this mentality of oil companies. Why they are clapping hand for Shell now? The moment they return to Nigeria, these officials will go and meet Shell. When the president called your name Shell, I was the one that clapped. So how many scholarships will you give my children?
Okay, but on a more serious note, Nigerians youth didn't take the comment made by Mr. President.
Nigerian children, Nigerian youths are very, they are proud. Nigerian youths are hardworking.
They felt he has taken all the youth to cleaners, and so they were not really feeling good. But let's look at our youths. I think some also said it was like an advice to the youth.
Yes.
What should we, the youth, be doing now if someone accuses you of not doing what you think you're doing?
Yeah.
And those that are not really working, what do you think they need to do right now?
Yes, they are really proving to the whole world. We have,
because I know Nigerian youth are hardworking.
Yes. I just told you I was 13 years. 14 years, the evidence are there. I was inside canoe with my mother paddling canoe. I have photographs of that in the 60s and in the 70s. Mile 2 river here, not even in my village. And again, to even make it more serious, I was a teacher at Lofi Grammar School, Ejin.
Where is that place?
Where Honorable Olulade come from. Honorable Olulade of the Lagos State House of Assembly. The village he come from, Ekpe. I was a teacher in that Lofi Grammar School. But every night I was in the river fishing, early morning, prepare myself to go and teach again. So Nigerian youths are not lazy, especially in Niger Delta. We are not lazy.
The president made this statement in the forum.
Yes.
Outside the country.
Yeah.
What effect does this have on Nigerian youths that are elsewhere in UK, US? This is coming from the president.
Yes.
Does it really have an effect on them?
Yes, I think they are responding and they are telling him and others who are coming after him not to come to their foreign lands to come and be causing such type of embarrassment. Because all the youths, if you look at BBC or Sky News, sometimes you see even London youths will go into shops and crime everywhere, all over the world. It is not particular, it's not our own problem alone. So, but I don't think that the British Prime Minister will come to Nigeria when we are talking about maybe Commonwealth matter and other things. We come and say that British is that it. So those who are advising the president, they are bad advisors. So I felt that even for him to come down back to this country, the first thing is to make sure that some people are dismissed and all that.
Okay,
he will even tell them that it was bad advice and make him to make that comment.
You're going to continue, we allow you, but let's get this call. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Are you still there? Good morning to you. Hey, what's happening? Hey. Okay, go. You can continue.
Yes, so I believe that British Prime Minister, South African President, we all know the problem in South Africa. South African President will not come here for OAU meeting and make comments. So we are still indicting the handlers of the president, and they have to apologize. If I expected them to apologize that yes, what the president said in London or in Commonwealth, it is not proper.
Was it not a misinterpretation?
No, whether it is misinterpretation, the forum, international forum, don't mention anything about lazy or don't say we are rapers. Nigerian citizens are good in raping women and children. They rape children, but I'm going to deal with the raping problem. Why? Is that where you are going to tell the people that some of us rape in those countries? Do they come and tell us the problem?
Thank God he never said that.
No, I'm saying, I'm just giving an example. I'm just giving an example. That Nigerians, the way I'm looking at them, whether they take ogogoro before raping, I will do something about it. I will do something about it.
Caller.
Is that where he's going to say it?
Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning to you. Okay.
Okay, so when you compare Nigerian youths and youths from other countries, Japan, China, because back in the days when we still were introduced to phones, mobile phones. The phones that came in from China, and they would say that these are projects from, let's say, high school students. And when you look at their youths, look at our youths, and you see, okay, their youths are actually producing projects, producing technical devices, and when you come here, you see
Okay, please 1 minute. We have a caller. We'll allow you to continue. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Beautiful. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I think you need to turn down the volume of your TV set. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Nigeria has not easy because we are very working hard before. We don't depend the government over here, and they are going to afford finding innovative. So I know everything that's happening there. They are even trying to bring us down here in Nigeria. We have it as later comment.
President Buhari, please.
President.
No, 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 no. I'm going to knock you off. That is the president. Even if he had made a mistake, you don't use such words, please. You don't use such words. You can call back, please, but don't use such words. Yes, you wanted to ask a question.
When you compare other youths in other countries, and here you see youths there saying projects coming out.
Yeah.
This youth did that, that youth did that. You have Steve Jobs. You have. I don't want to go that far because we have people out there that actually came up with devices at the age of say 13, 15, 18, 21, and we don't really see much of that coming out in Nigeria. Or even if it's coming out, we don't really. It doesn't really get published. What's the problem here?
Yeah. So the Minister of Information should stop all that things. Go around our villages. You see creative youths. They should come and publicize them. Anytime you visit the trade fair, you see the handwork of our young people, either even cameras, trying to even manufacture cameras with toys, with scraps. Some of the scraps that you are seeing in Owode and other areas, you see Nigerians using them to manufacture other things. They are not publicizing these things. They are publicizing things in the name of election to defeat people and all that. Let the Minister of Information now gather these talents all over the country. Okay. You'll be amazed the type of young people that have these ideas.
Okay,
but
there's another caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please, I don't want the wrong choice of words. Let's go straight. We can hear you.
I would like to see the president about you as a youth doctor. Again, also feedback to the president about the statement. I would like to advise them to say something or advise National Assembly concerning the budget that is in there. This is about 7 months now.
No.
They are disturbing this country. So I would like them to say something as they are complaining about the
okay, we were even finding it difficult to. Did you hear him?
Yeah, I think he said he wants to see the speech again.
Okay, we don't have the time. We're almost rounding off this edition this morning. Yes.
Comrade, now this question goes, Professor Wolusoyinka said that coming 2019 election, we should not vote in recycled leaders, which means leaders are people that have led in the past. Do you think that younger youths, the younger generation will actually do well enough to move the country forward coming 2019 election?
Yes, but they don't have the resources is the problem. And Nigeria, we are inside money politics. So if we are going to have pastors in charge of removing our mindset from money politics, the youth will take over. But the situation we are now, we have sink ourselves into money politics. If you don't have money, you cannot stand election. If you don't have money, you cannot mobilize people. If you don't have money, people cannot vote for those who cannot provide money. Unless we have another reorientation type of something to remove our mind from money politics. It's very difficult.
Godfathers.
Yes.
During campaigns.
Yeah.
If a youth decides to have, or if a godfather, somebody decides to sponsor a youth, would that be?
Well, it depends on if the voters realize that those who are sponsoring him, these are people who are problem to us. they can do what happened during the military. They can do what is happening. It is possible. Do you know that during the military, there was this governorship candidate called, I've forgotten his name. There was, Otedola became governor of Lagos State. He was in the NRC. There was what was known as, Otedola became governor because of protest vote. In this country, if we can have this protest vote idea in which we said, no, this person, this is the same people who are disturbing us that is sponsoring this guy. Let us use protest vote to knock out his own candidate.
Okay, we have a caller here, but I will talk about the godfatherism. I do not believe in that.
And again, let me correct you. When I talk about Otedola, because maybe the younger generation will be thinking that it is this billionaire. The current billionaire. No, he's not. His father was governor of Lagos State.
Yes.
In the name of protest vote, they knock out. The Abuja candidate was knocked out.
Okay.
The popular candidate.
There's a caller here. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Good morning to you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, please, you need to speak up. We need to hear you.
Please, I would like to talk about what the president said in, what is it called?
Commonwealth in the UK. Yes. Commonwealth Summit. Okay. I guess, yes, you were trying to correct that.
Yeah, so the billionaire we are seeing every day on telly, it was his father, who the SDP was the popular party in Lagos. And the candidate of the SDP people at that time was frustrated by Abuja. So Abuja people nominated somebody for them in Lagos. So they said, no, if even SDP is popular in Lagos, we will not allow this candidate coming from Abuja to come and manage Lagos affairs. Therefore, we are going to the opposition party. That was the Otedola party, and Otedola became the governor of Lagos State. If Nigerians can remember that history and decide that no, anybody sponsored by these people who are a problem to us, we will not vote for that person, or we even keep quiet, so that we use our protest vote to counter the sponsored cabal, Nigerians will now start coming up with youth leadership, but it is very, very difficult. But it can happen, because it happened in Lagos, I think in 1989 or 1990, during the Babangida.
Okay, I know that Anthony talked about godfatherism. If we can have such, you have a godfather that might sponsor you. I know that some politicians take advantage of this godfatherism and do all sorts, and impose you there or put you there and demand against your wish to carry out some things that are not really good enough.
Like what happened in Anambra State.
I don't know, but I know it does happen. I know it does happen. And so looking at it, we might not really get it through that angle. But can we look at what happened during Obama's time, when some people voted, gathered money together? Can that work here? Where some people will just say, this is the youth, this young man is who I want to be president of Nigeria. He's capable, he has the credibility, and all of us gather money. Can we be sincere enough to say, bring out 10 naira or 20 naira? And again, can those monies be truly utilized with our kind of person?
If you start from somewhere, we should start from somewhere, and it is possible. It is possible. If people decide to sponsor, you go and represent us in the State House of Assembly, you represent us as governor, and everyone will try to tax themselves. People are doing it only that, like the money bag issue, like what happened in Anambra State. A Catholic candidate.
You said the story. Let's get this caller. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Go ahead. Yes.
Please, I just want to ask you what the man said about this
okay, it's Comrade Joseph Eva.
You see, the problem is that with that $100, I was an eyewitness because I quoted them out. I was one of them. But I faced some challenges. I was the only one throughout our own work that quoted at the first school. But the second one, one of them just came to me, and they gathered together and quoted $100, my own area. $100 came in. And it is true. Exactly what he said. It is true. But the other thing is that I'm related to this politics. Let me tell you one thing. Religion, ethnicity, has already swallowed everything here. We know what we preach, what we do preach in the churches about. So that one will never happen. No matter how the youth or the home will still continue to change. Except our imam, our pastor, they change their mind and preaching law. And let them know that whatever belongs to him belongs to him. Whether it's from your side or not from your side. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Yes. Thank you so much for that contribution. We are talking about the Anambra State.
Yes, where a Christian, a noble Christian was taken to a shrine. And they have to bath him with ogogoro and some certain things to take oath that he will be loyal. I will be loyal to you, and every time allocation comes, I'm going to give you. And again, the man who is doing this, who is tormenting this candidate to be loyal to him, he's an elder. He's older than even small boy. Even now, let's look at the other dimension now. A small boy just hold the state to ransom. And he's going to flog the person who is now a candidate, a governor, sworn-in governor. He brought the governor to his shrine, and the governor older than him, and start flogging him. Will you be loyal to me? Will you be loyal? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The elderly man is saying that to small boy. In fact, Nigeria is a funny country. If Nigeria history is written, many people will be asking. So this country is in this planet. So if we don't have that type of spiritual vow or this and that people will do and to be loyal, that every time allocation come to the state, I'm going to give you 50% of the allocation and use 50% to manage the affairs of the state. These are the type of godfatherism that is also causing problem in this country. Now I want to also correct one thing. It's not that when people are elderly people or old people, they cannot manage affairs. It depends on the setting and the conscience of that person. I give you an example. Look at Sierra Leone. Your woman, old woman, the former president of Liberia,
Yes, Liberia.
Liberia. Woman, elderly woman. Can you imagine this woman manage war situation like Gowan? War situation. You don't hear about the factions and this militant going back to kill themselves, because she was very simple and open. And everybody was seeing that every 10 couple that come to that country, this woman was managing it. So there was no violence, there was no problem. And so we are telling people like George Weah, young man, that you see the mama that took over this country during war period and managed the unity of this country with the prosperity you are seeing. You are the eye of all youths, because if you fail, you have betrayed all youths, not only in Liberia but all over Africa.
Let's take this call before we go on a break. Yes, hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I think we lost that call, but we must go on this quick break. And when we come back, I have our guest, Comrade Joseph Eva, with us. Let's go on a break. Welcome back. And some people have said that that the statement from our president is not good enough, but some people have also seen it as an advice that the youth can be, our youth can be useful, our youth can do more. Because I know Nigerian youth are very strong. I know that Nigerian youth are very hardworking. You can't take that away from Nigerian youth. Even when they go outside the country, they work so hard. They come in here, some of them begin to invest. Even those that went to school in Nigeria, here, those residing here are doing a lot of things. Is it the medical optometrics, female optometrics? Is it you have female shoemakers, you have female, male to young ones are just performing. People are going into, after the BSc, they go into agriculture, they try to produce things and get employers, of labors. They get people also and they get employed also. We're looking at all of these things, but Comrade Joseph Eva, because we might soon round up, we're going to be rounding up this soon. What do you think the government needs to do to engage Nigerian youth?
I give you an example of the amnesty program. October or November last year, the vice president met with all the first class graduates, first class in London, beneficiary of the amnesty. He met with them, first class. More than 20 youths made first class, defeated even white children in their own universities, master's degree holder, best in their faculty and all that. He hosted them and he was surprised. Now from even the militant, ex-militant, the amnesty program, we're able to produce pilots, best pilots and all that. The presidency met with them. So even with that alone, you cannot just give them the opportunity. But we are even saying that Nigerian youth are not even waiting for opportunities. They are trying on their own to make sure that they are meaningful to themselves. We know that crime is everywhere. Even if you look at the Bible, there was this story of the Good Samaritan. What happened? A robbery took place. A robbery took place. Who took care of the victim? That was the story of the Good Samaritan. So even in those days, even there in the Bible, there are incidents of robbers and this and that, thieves or this. That doesn't, you cannot use that one to say Nigerian youths are lazy. But like I said, if the president is discussing with us as a family in town hall meetings, and he said that, there is no problem because we are talking father and son. But because of the international forum, and these are people that some of our children are defeating their children in academic fields, right there in their own universities, coming out as best overall. We are seeing them live.
So how can we encourage them? How can they encourage
the encouragement is not there, because even some certain type of statements from those who are leading us will make the youth feel that we have no hope. Since these people have sentenced us. So we should not use that. That is also part of the things. We are not encouraging them. If we use some certain type of sentence on them as a father, then we are not encouraging them. So that was why we are saying that if government say you have policies, you have decided to fix 600 billion naira for intervention, poverty intervention, the monies are not released.
So what, as regards education, and what should the government be doing, the presidency?
No budget. As we speak, no budget. As we speak. In fact, I expected the president, as he landed in Abuja airport, to use paper to cover his face. When journalists ask him, Daddy, what is the problem? Daddy, president, what is the problem? He will say, since there is no budget, I'm ashamed. I don't want Nigerians to look at my face. That is what I expected from the president. To be serious, we have no budget. 4th month, first quarter of the year is gone. No 2018 budget. And we have Senate presidents talking. We have senators going carrying agbada and this and that. They carry our mace. When they carry our mace, I was pushing them and 2 people fell down and 700 people fell down. Look at today punch. I was saying, people are talking about mace, Oma Gege, this and that. Is that what we are discussing in the country? First quarter of the year gone, no budget.
Now, in the education sector, I want to be very keen on this issue. In the education sector, are we doing well enough? And if we are doing, and if we are not doing, what should be done to upgrade the education sector in Nigeria?
You visit Unilag. Unilag, that fair choice. Unilag pride itself with fair choice. You go there, you see the lecture halls, you weep for this country. Nothing. If they know that Unilag is inside Lagos, commercial headquarters, so they are doing a lot of commercial activities by saying that come for security seminar, 600,000. Security seminar, or in fact, Unilag now, another way Unilag now used to make money is to caterers. 1 week caterers cost. So when they stamp Unilag, you'll be very happy. You carry the certificate about. That is what Unilag is now using to survive.
Okay, but
we need prayers.
Okay.
So we are calling on all the pastors and imams to have their own national prayer day and call the president and call the governors and all that, and let there be a pastor for deliverance of the political leadership. 2018 budget, first quarter of the year gone, no budget. And every day we see these politicians come to our mosques and come to our churches, and the men of God will say, praise the Lord. When the Lord spoke to me, praise the Lord. What is happening?
Okay, we know that there are issues, and in Nigeria, also looking at how some people beginning to, after school, lots of people are learning one vocation or the other in this country. And I want to look at it. Those days, your father or your mother won't want you to go and learn a trade.
Yes.
But right now, you have no option. With the way the economy is going, everybody's learning something. But before I continue, there's a caller here. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And you are the last caller this morning. Good morning to you. Yes.
Good morning.
We can hear
good morning.
you.
We are
Go
hearing
ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Good
nodding
morning,
my
yes.
head. We can hear you. We can hear you well. I think we need to knock off this call. We're trying to hear you. We barely can hear you.
You're able to hear it. It seems you have technically Japanese made ears.
Okay, but looking at vocational training, skills acquisition,
yes,
these are areas where people are beginning to pursue because of what is happening in the country. What's your take?
Yeah,
right now,
I think we can become another Japan or Korea, because they start from all this little manufacturing and self-made man. It will go a long way. Okay. Yes.
Now we need to wrap up this program right now, this segment right now. Comrade Joseph Eva, you've talked a lot, we've discussed this issue at length. There are loads of things happening when Nigerians, youths want to work, and some of them say, hey, there are no tools to work. What advice do you have for the government on electricity, or on maybe vocational training, or on things that will enhance the youth to perform better?
We pray that God touch their mind, their heart.
But you need to advise them.
Yes, that's what we are doing, so that the budget come up the end of this month, so that we don't enter another quarter of the year with this budget story. Nigerian situation is getting worse when there is no budget, no planning. Budget means planning. So if you cannot plan with anything to provide for the people, or what the people can do also to improve the economy, we are going nowhere. So that is my advice to those who are in authority, and the youths. Yes, continue to be hardworking as you are. We all know that Nigerians are not. That's why Nigeria is great. Anywhere you go, despite these problems, the moment you say you are in Nigeria, people know that this is a special country in the planet, in the continent of Africa. So we are very proud people, and we'll get there.
I want to thank Comrade Joseph Eva, public commentator. Thank you for coming on this edition of the program. Thank you so much. And once again, congratulations in your award.
Yeah,
we're going to celebrate that. Okay, this is where we'll come to an end of this segment. We'll go on this break now. When we come back, Blessed will be joining us as we round up the program. But I'll talk a little bit about sports. Let's go on a break. Welcome back. We still have Blessed in the house. Blessed, I need to take Blessed's take on this. The misinterpretation of what Mr. President said and your take on what you think the youth are saying right now all over. We
are young. Anthony is young. I am young. I'm not lazy. I woke up after 3 this morning just to be here today. And I won't be leaving the office until late in the night, and I'll still have to be here tomorrow morning. We are not lazy. We are doing all we can to ensure that our lives are better for ourselves. And Mr. Evans spoke a lot on this topic, and I just hope that those in power should try to think of how they can get this youth involved meaningfully. You know, with the way things are going on, it seems we are doing things on our own. You know, normally governments are supposed to just make provisions for everything for us, but it seems this day that the youth are the one providing everything for themselves. I have to make sure that I have to get up this morning to make sure that everything is set for my life and also for my future as well. So Nigerian youth in general are not lazy. And those lazy ones, maybe some of them, maybe he meant some people. I know he said not all of them. Yeah. So I know some of them. Those that are, I don't want to say, I'm trying to look for those that are really lazy because it's difficult to find. These days, you see people are up early hours. Some people are learning carpentry right now. They are graduate, no work. They have to feed. They have to take care of the family. Someone paid your school fees, and you have to take care of the person, maybe your parent to guide in. So, but those people that are still slowing behind, what advice do you have for them? The future of Nigeria belongs to us all. So just make sure that you're doing something profitable to make yourself meaningful, add a meaningful impact to the society, yourself and your family, so that the country as a whole can benefit to that. Yes, we have to wrap up this now. Yes, from Anthony, we're wrapping up.
Well, Nigerians, youth out there, youth like us, I just strong. I said this on Saturday on my show, my personal show. Go out there, guns blazing. Please, can you interpret that on this show? We don't understand that. What I mean is, yes, just take your opportunities. Don't wait for it to come. Go out there and grab your opportunities. There are opportunities out there. You know, I'm talking to the people, the youths that actually wait for the government. Trust me, the government, I wouldn't say the government is not wanting to help the Nigerian youths, but don't wait for the government. Make sure you do something for yourself. Be proactive. Be vigilant, be be who you are. Yes, to blessed. Let every day count. I'm Blessed Omono say, and that's it all for me here on SuperDawn this morning. Okay, and before rounding up, I have to tell you what is happening, what will happen soon come May 24th. And I'm excited. That's the sports end. From the sports end, I don't know what happened, they didn't come today, but I know a bit of it. I know that Chelsea and Man U will be meeting May 24th. It's gonna be a, wow, what word will I use? These are both teams that are qualified for the FA Cup. 11 times, and the Giants are meeting on the pitch. Remember that I'm a Chelsea fan. No. I can wait for May 24th to see them play. And I don't want anybody to miss that match. It's going to be a grand one. It's going to be one of the matches of our time. The one that we will determine who will take the finals. It's going to be the finals. And hey, I pray my team don't disappoint. Everybody must just be up and doing. Everybody must make us proud. And also for the Man U fan, I also pray that they don't disappoint their fans as well. I can't wait come May 24th for that grand finale. It's going to be it. And this is where we will need to wrap it up. I love football. And 11 times now meeting. Who is going to get that cup? Maybe I'll get the cup. Okay, this is where we wrap up today's edition of the programs. Nigerian youth are not lazy. Maybe the president meant those that are slowing us down, but I know loads of youths are working hard. We leave home early. You don't want to know the time I leave my house? Don't let me just say that. But I must be at work for 6 o'clock. So if I'm going to be here by 6 or till 6, it means that I must have left my house maybe after 4. And that's what happened. So lots of people are working, lots of people are doing something. But if you're not doing anything, get yourself something to do. Well, I hope you did enjoy today's edition of the program.
I am Vera Osopo, and this is from Superscreen Television. Keep watching our station. We are the best, and don't stop. I'm not just saying that because I work here. I'm saying that because we are not biased. And I want to apologize to the other guy we knocked off air. You called the president a fool. He's not allowed on this platform. Please don't do that. It's still our president. If he says something that is not good, you are free to say, hey, what he said, I do not like it, even in a harsh tone. But do not call names here to anybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.